Thanks for clicking on my video. Please comment, share, like and subscribe. It all helps to build my channel. Hello, GJ here. I'm just going to show you what I've made with some scraps of plywood and some little bit of 1x2. And what this is a bench stand for my bow, or a bow stand for the bench, whichever way you want to put it. And basically, it's made out of scrap, nothing special. It's dead easy. It took me literally on the outside half an hour once I saw some wood to work out what to, how to make it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. All it is a stand, so that if the bow's, if you want to work on the string, that kind of thing, or you want to work on the bow, you can just stand it on the stand, or just working on the riser, doesn't matter. But yeah, I've seen them before and I thought to myself, I can knock that up out of scrap. I'll just bring you a bit closer and then I'll point it down and you can see exactly what it's all about. It's nothing special. Anybody can make this up with the minimum of skills and a saw and some scrap wood. And if I take the riser and I put that over there for a minute, and I'll show you, that is all it is. Nothing special. I just got some scraps. This is, let's see, all in all, it's 22 inches long. It can be less. The width is 3¼ inches. It's 9mm ply, 8mm ply, 9mm ply, and that's a bit of 2x1 just to give it a bit of support. So yeah, so all I did, I got a strip of this ply and I cut off some pieces. Now these pieces and these dimensions, they don't have to be exact. Just do it to suit your bow. And these are, in actual fact, the 4.5 by 3¼ and that's of course 2x2. And so all I did was I cut the pieces off the length. It was about your long. I cut these pieces off, and then what I did was I got some cardboard, and I think this is probably, is it? No, it's not, but this will do any road. What I did was I took a bit of cardboard and cut it to the same shape, and then what I did was I got my riser and I got a pencil and I sort of worked out roughly where I wanted the let's get a pencil there, where these, shall we call them, these forks, where I wanted them to sit on the riser. And then all I did was I just literally penciled it in and then worked out roughly where it was going to be. So in the end, what I did was I formed this, and I knew that that was the original sort of size of the riser. Hopefully you can see that. And let's get a marker so that you can see. And so I knew that there, a bit wobbly there, that there was the shape where the riser would sit in there. And then I allowed myself another 5mm either side, making a centimetre, and that was the line that I actually cut. So if I take a pair of scissors and I cut it out like that, once I'd cut this template, it was pretty easy, because all I had to do then was take that, throw it in the bin, and I had my template. So then I knew that that was going to sit like that with a little bit of playroom on there. Now I'll put that against the wood, pencil round it, and then cut down and sawn that out. I mean, I've got a bandsaw, but you can get away with a tenon saw or a hacksaw blade. And once you've cut that out and tidied it up, then you get the sander. In my case, I've got this old Permagrit tools. I've had this for donkey's years and just sanded it up, smoothed it off, took all the edges off, and I've not bothered varnishing it. I suppose I could give it a coat of varnish if I wanted. But the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to protect the bow, the riser, by putting something on here to protect it, because you don't want any scratches on your nice lovely riser, do you? So I thought, well, what can I put on there? I don't want anything too thick, and so I thought, I know, I'll use leather. So I've got loads of bits of leather, and the thing is, I'll tell you now how I got hold of leather. You can buy leather if you want, and it's not cheap, it's not expensive, it depends where you go. You can buy strips of leather, you know, and of various thicknesses. This is I'd say about 2 mil thick, 2 millimeters, which is more than enough to protect the bow when it's sliding in and out of your stand. Where did I get it from? Well, a funny story. A relation of ours had a 3-piece suite, a leather 3-piece suite, and they wanted it taken to the tip to be disposed of. And so they were looking at, you know, at paying somebody to come and put it in a van and take it to the skip, to the tip. And they told us just in matter of fact, and I said, I'll do it for you. I'll do it. And they said, will you? But you've only got a car. I said, yeah, that's okay. So I turned up with a Stanley blade, this particular Stanley blade, and I skinned it. I skinned all the leather off the 3-piece suite, just like skinning a carcass of an animal. And once I'd skinned it, I then took all the fluff and the rubber, the rubber sponge, and I bagged that up. And then I took a saw to the wood, and I actually kept some of the wood, but the stuff I didn't want then, I took to the tip. The leather and the rest of it I kept, because it comes in handy for making stuff. And, you know, I mean, making stuff like making my own quiver out of leather from a 3-piece suite, and making my own side pouch, which folds flat in the case. And so all of this stuff can be made out of leather. And I've actually got a video, that I'm making a video on how to make these, because leather's not that hard to work with. In actual fact, the interesting thing about leather is, if you haven't got a sewing machine and you can't sew, it doesn't matter, because this stuff, cyanoacrylate, or super glue as it's known, is perfect for stitching, or for sticking together leather if you haven't got a machine and you can't unsew it. And it's quick and easy. The only thing it does is when you patch 2 pieces of leather together, when you do stick it, as soon as you stick it, it goes very hard. That's the only thing. So if you want it to be supple, then only stick it where you have to. But other than that, you know, super glue is great for bonding and making things out of leather. There's no limit to what you can make, as long as, you know, you go about it. And when I make this video, and look out for that video, it'll be coming out pretty soon, and I'll show you how to make a quiver out of a scrap of leather. And you don't, it doesn't have to be leather. It can be any material. If you can stitch, it's great. But yeah, so the next job I'm going to do on this is I'm going to actually go around the inside of these and stick leather to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that job now, and then what I'll do is I'll speed up that part, so you're not watching me mess about with bits of leather and super glue. So it'll be literally a couple of minutes watching how fast I do it, because it's a simple thing. I'm just going to cut a strip, and then I'm going to stick it to one side, pull it round and stick it to the other, just to make it, but you'll see. Anyway, let's get cracking. So here we are. This is actually a collar off an old leather jacket I had, and I wasn't wearing it anymore, and it was looking worse for wear, so I scavenged the leather off that. And yeah, leather's easy to work with, as long as your blade is sharp enough. This blade obviously wasn't. I'd been using it a bit, so put a new blade in the knife, and away I went. And it soon starts cutting leather through. And so what I did firstly is I squared it all off, and once I got me squares of leather, I then worked out in millimeters exactly what I needed. So they were all going to be 30 millimeters wide, and the bottom part of the rest was 60 millimeters, and the sides was 75 millimeters. So I did it in 3 pieces. I could have done it all in one, but the only problem is such a tight angle there, stretching it round would have probably given me some trouble. So I thought, why struggle? Just make it easy for yourself. It's still going to protect the bow. And so I cut all the pieces together. So I had everything all ready. And then, of course, once you've got the pieces cut, the next job is to actually work out how to put them on. Now, the one thing about using super glue with leather is that super glue makes the leather really stiff and hard. It does bond to other leather and wood and anything great, but bear that in mind, because if you want the cushioning softness of the leather, then only use the super glue on the edges where you want to bond it together. Now, as I'm stretching this over the wood, I'm sort of playing it by ear, just winging it, and I run it across and then I hold it down. And with super glue, what you find is you hold it down and count to 10. So once you count to 10, by then you can sometimes feel the heat coming through from the cyanoacrylate, the super glue, where it's actually bonding. It warms up really fast. And I pull it over the other side and I stretch and squeeze that and wait till it goes off. And then I nipped the corners. I've run out of super glue, gone and got some more. I nipped the corners so that I could then fold them over. So I just bend it over like that, put a dab of glue, fold it over and hold it and count to 10 again. And the bloody stuff gets all over your fingers, but hey, you can always wash your hands at the end of it. I just made sure that it was nice and neat when I glued it on. Bend it over, hold it, count to 10. That's the thing with super glue. This particular super glue that I'm using is medium viscosity. So it's the medium viscosity super glue, not the thin stuff. You can use the thin stuff or the gel on the other side of it. You've got thin, medium, and gel. Now the gel is okay. The gel is probably better for gluing fletchings down than the medium, because the medium's runny, but it's not that runny. You know, the thin stuff is really runny. It soaks into everything and you can't control it. So it's, you only use really thin stuff when you glue wood to wood and that kind of thing, because it soaks into the wood and toughens it all up. But yeah, so take your time. Remember to count to 10 and don't stick your fingers to the job you're doing, and you'll be okay. And I then just cracked on and away we go. So there it is. There's the bow stand. That's how it works. Simple, straightforward, nothing to it. There you go. Covered in leather. You can do what you want. It's just a basic idea. You can run with the ball as far as you like. But, you know, if you want to varnish it, if you want to paint it, if you want to cover it all in leather or cloth, you can do what you like, really. You know, it's just a basic idea for when you want to work on your bow or on your string. When it comes to, you know, putting knocks on, tying knocks and that kind of thing, that's what it's for. But yeah, cost peanuts, bit of scrap ply. Worst case scenario, you go and you spend a couple of quid on a you know, a half a sheet of ply, and cut it up and make what you want. But to me, this is what hobbies are all about, is making stuff as well as buying stuff. Anybody can go and spend a fortune buying all the latest equipment, and they're made for the job type of tools and equipment and stands and what have you. But you know, you don't have to. You can enjoy making stuff, and it doesn't, you know, there's no hard and fast rule about how good you have to be at it. Just make it to suit you, and you know, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. There's also a video on how to make yourself a cheap target, and that's just made out of cardboard. And I'll be doing a video on that soon. So yeah, there you go. A bow stand, a stand for bows. Till next time, see you soon. Thanks for clicking on my video. Please comment, share, like and subscribe. It all helps to build my channel.